Alright, so we are back in the Red Strings Club. Confronting a lawyer that might be representing, I believe representing Supercontinental, offering her a beverage of my choice. Could she be getting through an ethical crisis? Let's dig further. 3 questions left. Oh, okay. And I have 5 questions to choose from. What's the deal with Johanna Seftis? Tell me more about social service. Who's the highest authority on SPW? Why didn't the CEO tell me about you? Will everything be ready for the unveiling of SPW next week? Have you ever met Dr. Edgar Coldstream? Okay, Edgar Coldstream seems important, so I think I want to ask that question. I like that question a lot as well, because that brings up the idea that I'm in the know, so then she might spill her beans on something else. But the other 4... I'll start with, tell me more about social psych welfare's legality. In theory, somebody has to... I mean, like, it's not the same thing as when you make an agreement to have Facebook accept an app onto itself. You're essentially accepting an app into your mind. And I would imagine that would come with various other legal issues. Because I still can't imagine how you convince the government to buy into it. I can understand where your concerns come from. But rest assured, this has all been approved by the Ministry of Health. It's backed by the government. That is interesting to note. I feel way more relaxed now, knowing that the... Did I just read that as new foot? Okay. I feel way more relaxed now. Have the people affected agreed to it too? In fact, they have. Every implant user signs a contract at our clinics. It states the user's physiology may be altered to ensure a stable mind-body environment. Oh, right, and it's totally clear they're signing up for brainwashing, right? Listen, I know this is a bit hard to swallow. I had to take some time to deal with it too, but after deeper consideration, it's really a good thing. Please, enlighten me. You know that the Ministry of Health... I wonder if she considers that one of her 3 questions. Ministry of Health has determined depression, anxiety, and such to be social hazards. I can't argue with that one. People tend to make lots of bad decisions when they're depressed and anxious. Well, this is free treatment for everyone. Don't talk about your problems, just chemically alter your problems so that they... Actually, I guess this is not chemically. Just mechanically alter your body so that it's not a problem anymore. You mean mandatory? Well, it's up to the implant user whether to accept the terms and conditions of the new firmware. Oh sure, quite the page-turners, those. Everyone's read them. You're just selling one-way tickets to mindless happiness. They won't be able to decide for themselves once SPW goes up. Now, I suppose I do have that question. Let's say you had this kind of attachment to your brain that kind of controlled your mood. Would you be able to turn it off and then on at will? Like you realize that your established mood does not change for so long, you don't know what it's like to not be content. But they assured to me it's not that bad. Oh, the evidence. You keep being you, the best you, free of rage, envy, sadness, free of creativity, individuality, free will. Listen, I'm not a philosopher. If you have any other legal doubts, I can clear them up, but that's as far as my responsibilities go. Looks like I've sowed some doubt. For some reason, I assumed it said seeds of doubt. 2 questions left. Okay, so I know I have the thing that'll allow me to reset this whole conversation, but I did cheat to get it, so I'm not going to use it. So instead, I'm going to ask about Dr. Edgar Coldstream. No. Have you? Nope, but I'm looking forward to it. What do you know about him? I know he's working on Project Akara. Who told you? Proxima? Those terrorist scum are making my life impossible. It's not fair to play outside the rules. The law is your rule, not ours, Miss Koss. I'm well aware of that. So, can you tell me anything about Dr. Coldstream? I cannot. Can you at least tell me the official? Okay. Dr. Edgar Coldstream is a brilliant macro psychologist and AI designer. He's been working for Supercontinent for 12 years. Yeah, okay. Do I want to meet him? Can you tell me I want to meet him? Okay, that I can do. Oh, sure. Interesting. And last question. Will everything be ready for the unveiling of Spoo next week? Oh, no. Spoo won't be announced that soon. Do I sense some nerves? It's not it. I made sure the legal work is flawless. So these second thoughts aren't illegal then. Maybe ethical? You're an implant user after all. How do you feel about Spoo? Forget how to access my notepad. What is this? That's irrelevant to my job. That's never irrelevant to any job, unless you're a psychopath. Are you? Listen, it's not my place to judge my employer. Of course I've put some thought into it. As a lawyer, aren't you afraid of losing your edge if they turn you into a brainless doll? They really like to use the term brainless doll. They're really like pushing that into the ground. You've got it backwards. Removing my anxiety, stress, remorse would be quite the perk as a lawyer, in fact. If we learn anything from the classic film Liar, Liar, starring Jim Carrey, it's that he had a lot of trouble when he couldn't lie. If he didn't have to worry about stress or remorse from lying, then he'd be a great lawyer. That was the message of the movie, right? Let's hope everyone wants to become lawyers then. Well, I'm afraid you've run out of questions. I've got too much to do tonight, so goodbye. She's twiddling her thumbs. Sure, go and spread law throughout town. You seem to be enjoying yourself. So just in case, I'll inform you of the current situation. Supercontinent is going through turbulent times right now. That's good. That spells change for a company. I've seen it many times. But in the process, there's usually a trail of casualties, including Ariadne. I remember Ariadne, but I don't remember what SPW stands for. Go figure. The way you've been playing right now, you've got a ticket to become one of them. Be warned, Mr. Bartender. Didn't know corporate lawyers were in the business of extending such stylish death threats. There are many fates worse than death when up against corporate law. Have a good night. Bye, Cyborg Tube Lady. Thank you for coming. See you next time. Was my performance to your satisfaction? Excellent. Thank you very much. So quiz time now, if you please. Of course, I find it quite amusing, in fact. 7 out of 10 or more earns me a prize, right? Go ahead. Okay, so I cheated last time. I'm not going to cheat this time. I'm just going to go with whatever score it nets me, even if it's awful. Is Naima Koss a psychopath? What, you aren't going to ask me if she was attracted to me this time? That's irrelevant for Naima's case. Answer the question, please. Is she a psychopath? I will say no. What is her top priority right now? Find Johanna Seftis. See, I didn't ask about Johanna Seftis, so I don't know. To assess the danger posed by Proxima. Well, she did say she was here to investigate Diana's loyalty, so... Is SPW in jeopardy? Yes. Does Naima know about the MNA? No. Does Naima perceive you as a threat? No. Is she capable of betraying Supercontinent? I'll say no. Is she capable of covering murder for her employer? Yes. Is she capable of committing murder for her employer? I guess there's a big difference there. I will say no. Regarding social psych... there we go. Social psych welfare. Does Naima believe it is a good thing? Yes. Do you think technology manufacturing have the right to alter their products after sale? What do you mean? If Supercontinent designed, created, and distributed the human upgrades, do they have the right to modify them, as in by adding SPW to them? Among other things, do they have the right to modify them? Well, that would be like you could only buy the initial product. There's no patches that improve upon its functionality. I mean, like, this is the classic video game choice. Once it's purchased, it's yours. This is the worst choice. Okay, so there was this this cheap kind of like, it was a free-to-play golf game on the cell phone that I downloaded. I apologize, I forgot the name of it. But anyway. It played a little bit like, it was in 2D. You controlled the direction that the ball would go, and the strength that you would hit the ball. You would get 3 shots. After the 3rd shot, you could watch an ad to get another shot, or you'd have to start over. Now, 3 shots was fine. If you made it in the first shot, you'd get the most points. You got the second shot, you'd only get 1 point. If you got it in the 3rd shot, you'd make 0 points. It worked. It was fun to play. I put in much too much time into that than I probably should have for that kind of game. Then they updated it, and the update said minor fixes. And according to this, minor fix was they removed that 3rd shot, so you only had 2 shots. And then you had to watch an ad to get that 3rd shot. And then it became terrible. Because it's not just about getting the ball in the hole. You also have to collect stuff too. And also the terrain is randomly generated. So combining all of that generally leads to you having to watch ads faster. They took the product, they modified it after without really notifying anybody about what the modification was, and more or less ruined the experience. Now, waver between these two. Now, with yes, they should be clear about it. Essentially, you'd be buying into a subscription-based service, or just a constantly updated service, similar to an MMO, in which the software that you start off with is going to be very different from the software that it's going to be years down the line. At the same time, though, consider standalone games like the early Call of Duties. They have been more or less forgotten to the point in which a lot of hacking has appeared. If the product was continuously updated, in theory, the hacking would be dealt with, but the product would not necessarily be the same thing as when it first launched with. So I'm going to say yes, but they should be clear about it. I.e., you get patch notes, you get updates, you get a download that says, "Hey, we got this update rolling out for your new social psych welfare system. It's going to turn you into a brainless doll. If you install the update, do you want to install the update?" Yes, but they should be clear about it. Supercontinent is concealing the fact that something they sold is going to fundamentally change you. Isn't that the normal procedure for all technology? Dozens of firmware updates are pushed on a daily basis. Its users accepting its terms and conditions blindfolded. So are you saying this is the public's fault? I'm not very versed in the human concept of fault. It is my understanding, though, that accepting something without thought is a sign of trust. Although I would imagine at this future age, if there's some sort of update that turns you into a brainless doll, the update would probably be thoroughly reviewed. Especially since they're the main company to acquire software from. In this case, I'd rather call it ignorance than trust. People have been indoctrinated over the years to accept whatever updates corps throw at them. So the problem is not Supercontinent modifying its creation, but the lack of education amongst its users. In a free society, isn't education an individual responsibility? Not in my opinion. The powerful educate. Parents teach, schools teach, the media teaches, the government teaches. The issue might be then that you don't agree with what they're teaching. That's beyond doubt, yes. Was that a question or just food for thought anyway? Indeed, it was the 10th question. Thank you for elaborating. And well, how did I do? You've answered 7 of 20 questions correctly! Amazing! I was not expecting that. Wonderful. What did I win? A short-term memory setter. Yay! That is an amazing toss. I thought it was going to be a different prize this time. I'm sorry. You're right that variety in the rewards can improve the game's design. I'll try to think of something different for the next time we play. Don't worry about it. Although I gotta confess, the anticipation has me excited for the next game already. I'm glad you're having fun. Listen, I think I'm gonna close for today. My gut tells me we won't be getting any more clients until tomorrow. Yes, it doesn't look like it. Can you tell too? Do you have instincts? What you humans call instincts are just deductions your brain has drawn for you. You simply can't follow the logical sequence due to the vast amount of data your brain processes. Unlike you, I'm able to keep up with my brain, so basically yes, your gut is right. We won't be having any more clients tonight. Good to hear, because my leg is killing me. Let's call it a night.